my name is Jamie. I am 27 and I'm originally from Pittsburgh. Currently live in Bridgeville. Well, I unexpectedly found out I was pregnant about a month and a half before my wedding. It was at the end of August, and honestly, although it wasn't planned that way, it was like the best news that I ever received in my life. My reaction when I first found out I was pregnant was definitely shocked, surprised, happy, and scared, of course, all at the same time. When I told John, my husband, he was ecstatic. He was like, was so happy. The smile on his face was like unforgettable, for sure. I just kind of showed him the pregnancy test, like, hey, I have something to tell you. It was super casual. I didn't go about, I think I was such in like in the moment, I really didn't think oh, I'm gonna go out and buy a little shoe. We just didn't have time. I just was so excited to tell him, and I had to tell him that it was kind of like, hey, I have something to tell you. Super casual, just up in our bedroom. Showed him the test, and he was like, oh my God. He made 3 phone calls to his cousin, and I could just hear it in his voice, the way he was like, Jamie's pregnant. I think what made me want to photograph this part of this change in my life, I think because I felt so great about being pregnant. I think I embraced it, and I want to look back and remember this time, and as much as I can't wait to meet my daughter, I also am going to miss being pregnant, miss this belly sometimes. So I think, capturing that is that's just priceless. You have to embrace those moments, and I'm so glad that I did. 26 photos later and counting. If you would have talked to me months ago, I probably would have never thought, it was never in my calendar to be like, oh, I'm gonna make sure I schedule maternity photos. So the Sasha Danielle experience is nothing short of amazing. When I first met with Sasha, she had so many inspirational looks, just from what I had saw previously of her work to other new things. It's not like she was like, oh yeah, we're just gonna do this same image as I did on somebody else. It was completely different, unique to my style and what I wanted. I couldn't wait to come back and do these photos. So we had the consultation and talked about all of that, and I was just drawn to you you're an awesome person to begin with, so as a friend. But yeah, I could just tell that this was gonna be not only so worth it, but so fun, and I looked forward to it. So we finally booked our shoot, and honestly, being that pregnant in the game, it's you're kind of pressed for time. We finally did book our photo session, and from the minute I walked in, and I love how you can just come and not be prepared. You don't have to come make sure, get up early, get all ready. I came in with my pajamas on, comfy clothes with some of my outfits, and as I sat down in the chair and the makeup artist just did my hair, did my makeup, even that experience is just great in itself. Who doesn't like to be pampered? Sasha picked out all of my outfits and kind of coordinated what we're gonna do first, what the looks that she had in mind versus what I wanted to do. We started shooting, and it was every look, I think by an hour in, she's like, oh my God, I already took 2,000 photos of you. I was like, what? That was crazy to me, but you loved it the whole entire time. It's so worth it to feel you're a movie star, a celebrity, and you're pregnant, so you're already kind of feeling a little bit weird, but no, that wasn't the case at all. I felt completely comfortable and beautiful the whole time. My favorite part was coming to see the photos, which I just got to do, and oh my God, I can't stop smiling, as you can tell. I'm ecstatic. I'm taking home all of the photos basically because I love every single one of them, and I can't wait to display them on my walls and show my friends and family, and better yet, show my daughter. So I think the first look that we talked about at our consultation was definitely the flower inspired. So my daughter is going to be named Iris, and Iris is actually a purple and yellow flower. And ironically, we kind of had that in common. Like Sasha and I were just like, she was inspired by like flower crowns and just flowers in general, and I had saw her previous work with someone holding a bouquet of flowers, and I'm like, oh my god, how cool would it be to do the iris flowers? So that was a look that we did, but we did a couple flower looks, and one of my favorites first look was the flower crown look. This is like one of my favorite pictures. I think I might need this like blown up just kind of so I can stare at it every day. But to be honest, when I first looked at this, I'm like, is that me? Like that's why I think the boost of confidence is so important when you're pregnant, because some days you like look in the mirror like when you get out of the shower and you're like, wow, like my body has changed. But then you like look at this image and I'm like, oh my god, but it's changed in a good way, for a very good thing. So yeah, I wouldn't trade being pregnant for anything. So these were the bouquet of iris flowers, and this photo is just like, I think we all agreed, it's like just looks like art. Like it's, I don't know if you can even tell that's me in the back, and I really don't care if you can because it's just so beautiful. This is something that like will definitely be on my wall, and I will be vouching that, yeah, that is me. John, my husband, is like, you know, man of few words, pretty shy, but he left here like so ecstatic, and I think we were even talking that night, like he's just like, I can't wait to meet her. I can't believe that was already a month ago now. He's gonna be such a good dad, and I can't wait to see him hold her. I can only imagine how much he's gonna love her. But you know, even though she's not here yet in this photo, it's just so so special that we, you know, we created this thing and something to be proud of. So I think that's what these images, they're not only fun and romantic, but they're like, it's just like such a special moment. And I think whether, you know, we go through this a few more times or we never go through it again, this is something to cherish for sure. During my photo shoot, I was for sure excited like the entire time, because I knew that the pictures were going to be amazing. I guess I was a little bit nervous. Yeah, I mean, you're working with like a body with this big belly here, so I think any pregnant person will be a little bit nervous. But yeah, there's no hiding it. Like, it's kind of cool in that aspect to be pregnant. Like, you have an excuse, like, not to like suck it in. Like, I think as women we're constantly like, oh my god, get me at the right angle, or make sure, you know, I don't look fat, or make sure, you know, our stomachs are like one of the biggest things, you know, and really what normal woman sits down and doesn't have the slightest bit of a, you know, mark. Like, not everyone has a flat stomach. So really, you shouldn't be nervous, because when you're pregnant, you can sit down, you can be hunched over, that belly's not going anywhere, and there's no hiding it. So it's kind of cool to like run around and take photos, all these different looks, and really you don't have to like suck it in or hide anything. It's just, this is your body. Just taking photos, like trusting somebody to just, you know, take a weekly update, or going with another photographer that's just gonna, you know, take some pictures of your belly. Like, you, with the Sasha Danielle experience, I trusted that every photo would be accentuating my best angle, even though I wasn't like shy to like, or, you know, fearful of hiding your stomach. At the same time, you do want to look beautiful, and she definitely hits that right on the head. So that's hence why I'm taking home all these beautiful images. So in the back of my mind, honestly, I thought at first, do I need to do a maternity session? I mean, like, what are people gonna think? I'm like, you know, fool myself, or like why do I need all these pictures of being pregnant? And some people I know that, like, seeing your bare belly is really frowned upon. They think that should not even be displayed. And then I think you have doubts of like, oh, is my husband or my partner, significant other, like gonna think I'm crazy for wanting to do these? And getting these maternity photos, like that, all those doubts blew out the window. One, you need the confidence boost when you're pregnant, because your body's going through so many changes. I think it's so important to keep a positive mind your whole pregnancy, and just like feel good about yourself. I mean, yeah, we might be like really sick during pregnancy, or you might not fit into your regular clothes. But when you come and get photos done and then you see how beautiful you are, that just makes you feel so great. And another one, like, you'd be surprised how much your significant other will want to be a part of your shoot. I did not think my husband would be into it. I think he'd be like, no, I'm not doing that. That's stupid. Meanwhile, he was ecstatic to do it. He left here with all smiles. He looks amazing in those photos. And I think it's not only something to share as you being pregnant, I think it's nice to share with your husband or boyfriend or the father. Lastly, most importantly, when your daughter or son or child is here and they can look back and see, wow, that was me inside my mom. I mean, that's like, I couldn't imagine that. That's just gonna be such a cool moment to look at and say, wow, like I was part of those photos, even though my face wasn't in it. I can't wait to show my daughter those pictures. I mean, honestly, aside from like being pampered and getting ready and just completely coming, like, you know, showing up, I guess, that whole experience. I'm not gonna lie, like, that's a big part of it, but I think my favorite was when my husband joined in on the photo shoot. When I first walked in here earlier today and saw my wall for the first time, I think my eyes went to like every image that just stood out to me the most, which was mostly all of the images, but like there were darker black on black looks, there were the white flowery looks, there was the lace looks, there was the, you know, just John and I together, there was just the belly looks, everything down to the details. I think my eyes were going like in all which ways, which was such a cool experience because with the Sasha Danielle experience, having them already printed is so convenient and just genius, honestly, because why would I want to go through the trouble of printing out all these images myself? Again, I'm having a baby soon. That's probably something I'm never going to do. But now that I purchased the box and have all these photos already printed, like these can go up whether they're in frames or on ledges or even if they're just displayed like, you know, up against a bouquet of flowers on my table. They look amazing. The photographs, when you first look at them, I feel immediate confidence. Again, being pregnant, that's something to lose sight of, and when you see beautiful images of yourself, and better yet, like you're like bringing another human into this world, is pretty accomplishing. So yeah, I feel beautiful and confident, and it was so fun too. Like, who wouldn't want to go through this? It's not work, it's fun. Overall, the Sasha Danielle experience is, one, most importantly, a must-do for all pregnant women. And I feel like if you know, you can't make an excuse that you don't have the time. You can make the time. I tried doing that and saying, I'm not going to be able to do that, or, I'll do it eventually, and then, the weeks go by and you pop out a baby and it's too late. I think the overall experience is just like, you have to do it when you're pregnant. You have to do a maternity session for sure. It just is a must to tie into your pregnancy. To remember looking back on doing that from, looking at all the photos, and then better yet, getting to take all of these images home and display them to your friends and family and your husband and then your soon child that's going to be coming. It's a must. You have to do it. When I look at these images in 50 years from now, which is going to come sooner than we think, I think I'm going to just smile, and maybe I'll be able to, really see like my daughters or sons, grandkids, and I'll be able to be like, you guys got that from me, or that, just images are so important in general, whether I'm pregnant or not. These are going to be images that I for sure cherish.